Hey guys, it's Jessica, and I wanted to talk to you about one of the mistakes I made when I first started working out. Obviously, my goal was to lose weight. This was about 10 years ago, right after high school, and reading a bunch of magazines like women's fitness stuff. The theme around that was really just like do a bunch of cardio and tone, don't lift too heavy, don't get bulky. Anyway, so did a bunch of cardio, a lot of Stairmaster, a lot of spin classes, 2 hours a day, and didn't focus on weights at all. So I think maybe once or twice a week I would do weights, like machines at 24 Hour Fitness, and just go down the line, not really focusing on it. And I did lose a lot of weight in like the 2 months that I did it, but it was very not sustainable for me. My mental health was not very good because I was so focused on the number. I was barely eating like 600 calories a day. And obviously once I stopped and I started eating normally again, I gained it all back. You know, there are a lot of better ways to look at a weight loss program. And I think the biggest thing I would suggest is to don't put your body through such torture, because it was not enjoyable, it wasn't fun. My mindset, all I thought about all day was like, I need to lose weight. You know, I felt like I was torturing myself. And it took time for you to gain that weight. It's gonna take time to lose it and, you know, get a healthy lifestyle for yourself that is sustainable and that is healthy and that you can carry throughout, you know, for the rest of your life.
So, everybody's heard about supplements. A lot of people take them, and I thought that the more that you take, the faster you're gonna hit your goals. So in college, I did a little bit of reading. Note, I did a little bit of reading, and I thought that these things that I was gonna take was gonna help me, I don't know, get bigger and leaner and faster and all these other things that I wanted to be. So I bought protein and pre-workout and amino acids and CLA, thermogenics, creatine, and I think 19 and 20-year-olds have no business buying test booster, but I bought a testosterone booster for whatever reason. And I would take all these things every morning before I would work out, and I would feel like shit and nauseous. And common sense would tell you to not do that, but I thought that no pain, no gain, right? So one day I ended up throwing up, and that was kind of a wake-up call to not be taking all of these things. So I kind of weaned off of all of those. I mean, I still take a couple of supplements here and there, but I realized that focusing on a good nutrition program and a good training program is a lot more valuable than taking a bunch of supplements. So the biggest kind of thing I can take away from that experience was, if you're going to do supplements, do a little bit of research or talk to somebody that knows what they're talking about, and focus on a better training routine, better nutrition, and a good cardio program. So hard work, right? Don't put random shit in your body.
One of the mistakes that I made when I first started working out, which was sticking to 1 or 2 single programs for freaking ever. So starting off, I started working out in track, but that was very sports specific. And so when I got to college, that's when I kind of got off on my own and started working towards my own goals, which is to get bigger and stronger. And I started working out with my best friend in the dorms and his old brother, and they kind of showed me a whole bunch of different exercises to do, and that worked for a little while. But again, we kind of stuck with that same program for a long time, and then when I kind of branched out on my own, I'd go, you know, like everybody else, they go on YouTube, find someone that they want to look like or emulate, and that's what I did. And probably a lot of you other guys have done that. You know, the OGs, Steve Cook, Chris Jones. I figured if I followed their program or what they were doing, I would look like them. And to an extent, you know, I did see changes, but, you know, I did the same workouts forever and ever, and it's like, okay, you can only get so much out of a program, and so at a certain point, you're gonna hit a plateau, and that's where I reached, and I figured, you know, I'm just gonna keep sticking and try to push through, and just like, you know, nothing really changed. So again, it's like the rule or law of adaptation is you gotta add in different stressors to see some change. And you know, that's what I do now, and that's what I would recommend to my past self and to you guys starting out, is to, you know, stick with a solid program. give it enough time to see some adaptation, some change, and then switch it up, every 4 to 6 weeks or so, just so, you keep adding in new stuff so your body doesn't get used to it, okay? So, what not to do is just stick on the same thing forever, because again, you will make some gains, but then it's gonna plateau. So throw in some variations, some changes, and you'll keep your progress going.
And one of the things that I fucked up on when I was first starting to train was not eating enough. So when I first started training, I wanted to get nice and swole and nice and juicy. So I would hit the gym. I would give it my 100%. I'd learn from people on YouTube and stuff. But when I would get home, I wouldn't be fueling my body with what it needs to, gain muscle. So I wasn't eating enough carbs. I wasn't eating enough protein or any of that. So as time went on, I kind of was at a kind of standstill. So I wasn't seeing any more kind of progress. So knowing what I know now, kind of looking back at it, I would, tell myself, either do more research on nutrition or find someone who does know their stuff. Because at the gym I was at, I'm sure there was plenty of people who, or even the staff that worked there, that would have helped me out in terms of pointing me out to different resources that I could have learned from. And yeah, so if you're having kind of issues with like what you should be eating, especially as a beginner, look for help. Google is at your fingertips, and I'm not saying that everything on Google is like reliable, but find people who know their stuff or are certified nutritionists, whatever, and get juicy.
So one of the things I messed up on when I first started lifting was maxing out too often. So back in high school, I was playing baseball. I had a little introduction to weights, doing some reps here and there with lighter weight, so I didn't really max out. And then right out of high school, my friends and I, we went to 24, and just for the fun of it, we started maxing out, and to be honest, I started getting addicted. So every workout I had going forward, I would always 1 rep max. Initially, the benefits were good because I'd be PRing literally every day. But over time, I'd expose myself to injuries, whether it's my shoulders or my knees or my hips. So if I were to give myself a recommendation on how I should have been training, that would probably be building a better base, working with the right percentages, and getting more reps in. Just getting stronger overall before I 1 rep. And maybe, who knows, maybe 1 rep max every 2-3 months instead, and just not kill myself. So.
I first started training back in middle school, and my main goal was to have really nice abs and to be really lean. In order to get there, I would wear thermals every single day to school and train abs nonstop. By training abs every single day, I would neglect my other body parts, and that resulted in an unrounded physique. Wearing thermals every day was not effective because 1, it was not pleasant because I'd be sweating all the time, and 2, all I did was just sweat out water weight. If I would try to hit those goals again today, I would focus more on the nutrition aspect and also have a balanced workout routine, because training abs every day is only going to train your abs. And by training your other body parts, not only can you have a well-rounded physique, but you can have those nice abs.